Hello and welcome. So today I have for you two luxury niche fragrances that just launched recently. One is from Xerjoff and the other one is from Memo Paris. Now, I had shared with you these fragrances during one of the Chatty Scent Corner videos, the Saturday morning video. I had shared with you the notes and I had told you that I was planning to at least pick up the Xerjoff fragrance. Now, the Memo Paris was a total surprise for me, and I'll tell you more about that. But I have to tell you that these two are so special. Now, we have been hearing about so many fragrances that are launching recently, and I've hauled quite a number of them. But I have to tell you that these two really took me by surprise because, of course, they're luxurious because they're niche fragrances. But at the same time, guys, they are so unique. And for me, in a collection of over 1,000 fragrances, to tell you that they are unique, that is quite a bit. So I'm today going to, of course, give you a detailed review of each fragrance and share with you my thoughts overall. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go, fam. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the latest launch from Xerjoff. And this one is a collaboration with a very iconic rock band, which is Duran. Now, Duran is an 80s rock band that, oh my goodness, I think we all had a crush on Simon Le Bon. The lead singer. At least I did. Did you have a crush on any of them? It was typically either Simon Le Bon or Andy Taylor. Those were the two that were leading the crush. But all of them, they were all so great, and they still are great, and they are about to go on tour again. But anyway, so Xerjoff just launched this fragrance called Neo Rio. And Neo Rio is a collaboration with Duran. Now, here's the thing about Neo Rio. It comes in 4 different colors. It comes in orange and yellow and green and pink. But all of the colors are, of course, reminiscent of the 80s. They are all in neon colors. I, of course, picked up the green one because I just thought it was the cutest of all. And this is a fragrance that comes in 4 different colors, but it's not 4 different fragrances. It's basically the same scent profile and the same fragrance in all 4. Now, there's a second fragrance that I've been debating whether I want to pick up or not because I just have the feeling that it's going to lean heavy to the masculine side. And I just really don't want to add a fragrance that I'm not going to pull, right? But this one is called Black Moonlight. It's Duran Black Moonlight, and it comes in a black bottle. Now, the thing about these bottles is that if you look at it closely, as you can see, it says Neo Rio at the bottom, and the Neo Rio that appears on the bottle has been done in Simon Le Bon's handwriting. So how exciting. But let's go ahead and talk more in detail about this beauty. So let me go ahead and read to you what Xerjoff has to say about this collaboration. So 2 perfumes that tell the story of the timeless energy and bold spirit of Duran, I think we agree, offering a sensory experience that resonates with perfume connoisseurs and music enthusiasts alike. I would totally agree. So Neo Rio opens sweet and very ambery. And as soon as the fragrance opens, you almost start to pick up on a bit of fruitiness. And in a bit, you are going to clearly identify the fig note, which is the fruity note that comes in the opening. But in addition to that, you will find that the fragrance in the opening is boozy. It's not very boozy, but it is definitely boozy. As the journey continues, the accords that open the fragrance continue to be present. But there's a couple of differences because the fig note, which is really that fruitiness that you're going to pick up in the opening, does intensify, leaving no doubt that this is fig and that the fig is the star, at least, of the fruity notes. In addition to that, you are going to find that the booziness, which was not faint, it was just present, but not really very intense, that the fragrance opened with, it is going to intensify. So midway in the olfactory journey, you are going to have the same accords of the opening with the fig and the booziness intensified. Now, in addition to that, you are going to start to pick up on the florals, but the florals are faint and in the background. And to be honest with you, I can't distinguish them much until later. As you approach the dry down, you are going to start to notice that the florals, which were like kind of maybe faint in the background, are now very present, and you will pick up for the first time truly, at least to my nose, you are going to pick up on a very clear rose. Now, by the time you are truly like in the midst of the middle of the olfactory journey, you're going to notice that the fragrance has now become truly warm, spicy. And within that warm spiciness, you're going to pick up on the note of saffron. It's not a very dominant note, but it is definitely a warm, spicy quality to the fragrance that you really can't avoid. Now, as you really approach the dry down and in the start of the dry down, you are going to notice that the fragrance becomes a bit like creamy and with like a syrupy quality. And I think that this is as a result of the notes of maple sap and some patchouli and the tonka bean, because to me, it is very clear. I pick up on that maple syrupy quality and that creaminess that's coming from the patchouli and a bit of that caramelly kind of vibe that you get from tonka bean. As part of that dry down, you are going to definitely now pick up on the rose. And the rose is not a very fresh rose, but it's not a dated rose either. It's just like a rose that is in the midst of the bloom. But at all that, the magic in this fragrance, in my opinion, happens at the dry down. Because at the dry down, you are going to get a rich, creamy, boozy, like candied fig kind of scent with a background of like some woodiness with some soft floral qualities, which you will notice are definitely rose. For me, this olfactory journey is the perfect example of why I chose to become a Xerjoff collector and why I just love most Xerjoff fragrances, because this olfactory journey is unpredictable. It is special. The notes really do show themselves, but the blend is just so exquisite that in the end, what you get is such a perfect composition of all of these notes, giving you the most beautiful and inspiring scent. For me, NeoRio is a fragrance that you could really pull off any season of the year. I think it will work very well in the spring and the summer. I'm not sure that I personally would pull NeoRio on a very, very hot summer day, like 85 Fahrenheit and above. I don't think I would, because that fig at the dry down, that candied kind of fig that you're going to get at the dry down, may be a bit much. It really depends on you. You need to do whatever works for you. But at least for me, I think that this is a fragrance that I will pull all throughout the year, any season, just not on a very hot summer day. I also think that this is best suited for the ages of 25 plus, and it has no oud and no musk whatsoever. I don't pick up on any musk really at all. In addition to that, this is a fragrance that is performing very, very well on my skin because it is giving me 9 hours closer to the 10-hour mark without having to overspray, with a very strong projection during the first 2 hours and a moderate sillage. For me, this is definitely a unisex fragrance. I can see just about anybody using this fragrance, but if I had to pick a side, I would say that it leans a tad to the feminine side. Now, as far as the Moonlight fragrance, I really haven't decided if I'm going to pick it up or not. I have heard initial grumblings that it may lean towards the masculine side. And, worst case, I'll probably, just give it to my husband. But, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that one. What I can tell you is that NeoRio has exceeded every expectation that I had from this fragrance. And I think that this is a collaboration that really has paid tribute to a band that is as iconic and special as Duran Duran. And the fragrance goes right in line with that and does not disappoint. All in all, I'm very, very happy that I picked up this fragrance. And it's not just because it's a collaboration with Duran Duran or because it's Xerjoff. No, the juice really, really does warrant love, because I'm telling you, this is an exquisitely done fragrance. And Xerjoff, rarely disappoints me, but there have been a couple in the past that have not really done anything for me. But this one is one of my favorite launches of, I would say, the past 2 years, even though there's been quite a number of them that I really have enjoyed. It's just that this one is very, very, very special to me. As far as rating, I can honestly tell you that to me, this is a 9.5 out of 10. And I don't think that this is a fragrance that you should really blind buy. I think that if you can find a way to get yourself a sample or a decant, it would be best. Not because I think that this is necessarily a polarizing fragrance. To me, it is not. But, at this price point, I just think it's best that you get yourself a sample first. Anyway, let us know if you've tried it, if you picked it up, how do you feel about it? Are you excited about this collaboration? Your thoughts in general. So the next fragrance that I want to share with you is the latest launch from Memo Paris. And I have to tell you, I have been a collector of Memo Paris fragrances for a while now. And I think that I have maybe around 10 bottles because I really do enjoy Memo. But when I saw the notes of this fragrance, if you've been watching my Chatty Scent Corner Saturday morning videos, you would know that I did discuss Portobello Road. Now, Portobello Road is a fragrance that has a couple of notes which are what really pulled me to the fragrance. It has asphalt and rainy notes, like rain notes, like raindrops, right? And I just thought that that was very interesting. And as a fragrance collector, I thought to myself, I don't have one fragrance in my entire collection that has those notes. So I'm probably going to get myself a sample or a decant. But I could not resist. So I went ahead and I blind bought it. And after I ordered it, I felt a certain kind of way because I thought you should have really gotten yourself a sample, because asphalt, are you really going to smell beautiful? Well, I don't want to spoil the review for you, but I have to tell you that this is one that you really want to take a look at. So Portobello Road is an incredibly beautiful fragrance. I just have to tell you from the get-go. But at the same time, I consider it to be quite polarizing. This is in no way, shape, or form a safe blind buy. This is a fragrance that you really should try on skin before picking up. But I have to tell you that at least in my experience, as soon as I received it, I sprayed it. I sprayed it on paper, as I always do, and then I sprayed it on skin. And oh my goodness, it immediately took my heart, because it is a fragrance that, while being quite different, and we're going to talk about it in much more detail in a second, while being quite different, it just smells glorious. And there is something addictive about it. Now, Portobello Road opens very, very fresh and with a bright kind of feel. And at that, I can tell you that I think that brightness and the freshness that you get in the opening can be attributed to some citrusy notes and the note of myrtle. Now, in addition to that, that opening is definitely based on a very aquatic feel. So there are some aquatic notes, and you're going to feel like it's a breath of fresh air coming to you for sure. As the fragrance continues to evolve, you are going to notice that the fragrance also becomes quite aromatic. And in addition to that aromatic quality, you're also going to pick up on some greenness. But the fragrance is not very green. It's just not a tad green, not excessively green, but you are going to notice that there is a certain degree of greenness to the fragrance. Okay, so now as you continue in the journey and you're midway in the olfactory journey, when I tell you that the rose is going to hit you and hit you hard, because this rose is the most exquisite and different rose that I've ever experienced, literally in any fragrance. This rose is like the most fresh rose ever. It's almost like you feel like you have a rose in your hand that is a newly bloomed rose that was just under like a spring kind of rain shower, and there are still some raindrops on it. I am telling you, it is that photorealistic. That scent brings that to you and makes you feel like if you are definitely in that position with a rose. At the dry down, you have to be ready, because when I tell you, you are going to be blown away, because you are going to get the most aromatic, floral, fresh rose scent that you have ever experienced. And at that, it's going to have a touch of greenness. It's going to be a tad sweet, and it's going to have an aquatic quality to it that will make you feel, again, like you are standing in the midst of a garden of freshly bloomed roses that have all just been hit with like a recent like rain shower, and the drops are still on the petals of the rose, and you are just sniffing that incredibly beautiful, smooth scent. So for me, Portobello Road is just such an exquisitely beautiful fragrance. And at that, it is one that is perfection for spring and summer. I cannot imagine myself pulling this fragrance during the fall at all, nor the winter. This is truly a spring and summer fragrance. And I think that it is good for any age. It has no oud, no musk. You can use it for any occasion, day or night. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. But when I tell you, get ready, because once you sniff this fragrance, if you love it, you are going to fall hard for it. This is not a fragrance that will be whatever you expect it to be. Because believe me, when I was trying to decide if I was going to pick it up or not, I thought a lot about, what can I expect from it? What is asphalt going to smell like? I just really know that this is a very polarizing fragrance. You're either going to madly love it or hate it. I just really think that that's what it's going to boil down to. But if you love it, you're going to be obsessed. You're going to go around spraying it, sniffing it, layering it, doing everything that you can just to use it. This is a fragrance that I think is truly unisex. I can see absolutely anybody using it. And it is one that is performing very, very well for me, because it's giving me 9+ hours, closer to the 10-hour mark, with a very strong projection that exceeds the 2-hour mark. But then it does give me a moderate sillage. It is a fragrance that I just can't speak highly enough of the way that it's been done, the way these notes have been done, the way that the blend comes together. It's just groundbreaking for me. I think it's needless to say that this is a fragrance, guys, that not only surprised me, because I did not expect it to be this deep of a love for me immediately. And the more I use it, the more I fall in love with it. Like when I first sprayed it, to be honest with you, I was expecting to have to respray it or have to try it a couple of days to really understand it, because the notes of asphalt and the rainy notes really did intimidate me a bit. But I have to tell you that this is a fragrance that will catch you by surprise. I am telling you. And I personally think that it is quite groundbreaking. There is just something here. And, I don't know enough to really explain from a scientific standpoint, what is it that's in here? Why is it that it's so addictive? Why is it that it smells so good and so different? How did they do the rose the way that I pick up on the rose? It's like a total experience. I will stop right there, because I can go on talking and talking about this fragrance. Needless to say, guys, this is a deep love for me, a very different, and it's not even what I would call a rose fragrance, even though the rose is a star and is featured in every stage. But I have to tell you that for me, this one is for sure a 10 out of 10. Please let us know if you've tried this fragrance, if you picked it up, and your thoughts, because I just want to hear other opinions. I really have not heard anybody talk about this fragrance. All right, fam. So now, before I close this video, I do want to go ahead and announce the winner of the Gritty Eclectique fragrance. And just remember that if you are the winner, all I need you to do is please DM me on Instagram your shipping information, and I will get the fragrance right out to you. So this is the winner of the Gritty Eclectique fragrance. I will put the name right here. Congratulations. I know you are going to very much love and enjoy that fragrance, but I can't wait to get your thoughts once you receive it and you try it. Please reach out to me on Instagram, send me your shipping information, and I will get it right out to you. For the rest of the fam, you know that there will be many more giveaways to come in the future, so don't be disappointed. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed today's video because those two fragrances are really, really special. As always, thank you so much for hanging with me today. Much love, and I will see you all in the next video.